In this video, let's see how to create this sequential diagram for your architecture projects. We will be using D5 and Photoshop to do this. You can use any 3D modeling software of your choice to do the 3D. This is the reference image for this video. It was done by Oliver from Upstairs. I think it's an extension of this video, but I couldn't find any detailed tutorial for this sequential diagram. So here's my take on it. I'm using this model of Museo de Andel. I'll put the name here. I got this model from Exemplary Architecture. They were kind enough to share their model with me to use in this video. You can use any of your project files to follow along with the video. I made some corrections in the model, mostly in the context. I made a square shaped plane for the context and gave different material for the roads and the nearby plots. So if there are few portions that you want to highlight and showcase them in your sequence diagram, make a cube or a cuboid covering that area. Like here, I modeled the entrance block and the two cores of the building that I wanted to highlight, and also this connecting open space. Then I'm using Ctrl V to copy these blocks and Shift V to paste them in their exact position in a new SketchUp file. I placed all these three blocks in three separate SketchUp files. I also modeled context buildings in a different material. Once done, save and close all of the SketchUp files. You guys can do the same thing in any 3D software of your choice. Now let's open a new file in D5 and import the SketchUp model. Place the model inside the canvas. So I created new layers called sequence 1, 2 and 3 separately and started importing all the individual blocks we made in SketchUp. After placing all of them in different layers, hold Ctrl on your keyboard and select all the models and click on this icon so that D5 can sync their coordinates. Go to object panel and let's turn off the terrain. After this, it's very easy. I'm giving plain white color as material for the road and the base model and frosted glass material for the nearby plots from D5's asset library. I also added a small tint of gray in the base color. I used the same frosted glass for the contextual buildings and even the main building. Make sure you apply this material to all the faces. There should not be any color in this building. Let's create a scene for now and we will start fine tuning it. I increased the field of view to get the parallel projection, then slightly adjusted the framing again and updated the scene. In the effects panel, I reduced the highlight and bloom value to 0 and chose a sun angle that gives the shadows that I like. Click on these three dots and increase the sun disk radius to give a nice soft shadow. But I felt that the gray tint of the glass material was too much, so I changed the base color to white, only for the exterior faces. I didn't change the interior ones because it didn't seem to affect the look of it. I also made the sun disk radius to 7.1 and changed the color of the road to light gray, just enough to differentiate it from the ground. Then duplicated the scene. The first one will be the base scene, the rest will be sequence 1, 2 and 3 and 4 accordingly. All these scenes will have the respective layers turned on. After that, I started changing the color of the block to green using the HSV panel. Once I was happy with the color, I copied the same and applied it to all the blocks. When going through the scenes, I didn't like the way this block was coming out of the building, so I pushed it down a bit. I also made another scene only with the blocks visible and removed any shadow. This scene can be used to easily select one of them to edit inside Photoshop. Then I rendered all these scenes in 2K. After rendering them, I changed the material of the main ramp to green and rendered one image as I wanted to highlight it in one of the diagrams. Now close D5. Open a new file in Photoshop using any one of the renders and then drag and drop all the renders inside. For the first diagram, I wanted to mark the entry or access point. I drew an arrow using the pen tool with a dark green stroke and a light green fill and rasterized it. Then, using the mask tool, I slightly masked the rough edges to give a gradient fill and also reduced its opacity to 53%. This is the first diagram. For the second one, I wanted to show both horizontal and vertical circulation using this render. I started marking the main circulatory spine using the pen tool. I also traced the vertical circulation between the top two levels and labeled it. For the third one, I am using this as the base image and brought in an arrow PNG and placed it along this plane and traced it using the pen tool with the same dark green stroke and light green fill. I reduced its opacity to 75. I selected only this block and duplicated it and changed its blending mode to color to give a small glow for the block. Similarly, I created 3 more images for the sequential diagram. These are not the exact details of the building, so forgive me if I'm wrong. But when you guys are doing for your project, you know what to mark and highlight. Keep this video as a guide just to achieve the look for your presentation. I also added a one-word title that explains each diagram. As a final touch, I added grains for all these images using the camera raw filter. These are the final results. You can also put them together in a presentation sheet like this. See you all in the next video.